Hello, good evening, everyone. This is your girl Rafunchel, and welcome to my podcast. This time, we are gonna be answering questions based from two stories in Greek mythology. It is the story of Nisus and Scylla. Second story is from Deucalion and Pyrrha. Okay, so when I reflected on these two myths, I realized how they both reveal the power of or the danger of human emotions. In Nisus and Scylla, I saw how love, when blinded by desire, can turn into something destructive. How devotion without wisdom can betray even the people we hold most dear. On the other hand, Deucalion and Pyrrha showed me the beauty of faith and perseverance, that when love is grounded in trust, humility, and hope, it can rebuild even after the world has fallen apart. Both stories mirror the human heart, capable of both ruin and redemption depending on what it chooses to follow. And mind you, everyone, divine intervention is real. Okay, so question number 2. Well, to me, the gods in these myths act like reflection of our own conscience. They don't simply punish or reward at random. They respond to the energy and intent behind human actions. So Scylla's betrayal was born from selfish passion, and she was punished not just by the gods but by her own guilt and transformation. Meanwhile, Deucalion and Pyrrha were spared because they lived with faith and moral clarity. It made me realize that faith often mirrors our choices, that divine justice is not distant or cruel, but a consequence of what we nurture inside ourselves. Okay, so question number 3. You know what? I think these myths teach us that morality must guide love and faith must guide survival. Scylla's story warns us that love without conscience can destroy everything sacred, while Deucalion and Pyrrha remind us that goodness and faith are foundations of endurance. Imagine surviving that 9 days of flood. Their survival was not just physical, it was spiritual. They survived because they remained pure in a world that had lost its way. It's a lesson that goodness, no matter how quiet, can outlast any storm. Okay, so question number 4. Well, as I thought about these stories, I realized that divine justice is deeply tied to human nature. The gods, in a way, only reveal what already lives in the human heart. Scylla's punishment wasn't just divine anger, it was natural outcome of her betrayal. Deucalion and Pyrrha's reward was the continuation of what they had already lived by: love, obedience, and trust. It made me see that justice, whether divine or human, often comes not from outside forces, but from the truths we created through our actions. Okay, so question number 5, the last question. These myths may be ancient, but their messages feel timeless. We still face floods, not of water, but of chaos, loss, and uncertainty. We still face temptations that can make us betray our own values. Nisus and Scylla remind me that never let desire silence my conscience, and Deucalion and Pyrrha remind me that faith and goodness will always be the key to survival. In a world that often feels divided and unstable, these stories whisper an old truth. What saves us is not power or knowledge, but the purity of our heart and the strength of our spirit to start again. That is the end. Okay, so that is it, guys. I hope everyone is doing well and safe. And always remember, kindness is free, so sprinkle that stuff everywhere. Bye!